Vivekananda asks Ramakrishna, have you seen God? Ramakrishna says, yes. And he adds one important line, I am seeing God much more clearly, deeply than I am seeing you. Understand, that is a very important line. That's a very important truth. Experience of the mystics or sages is much more clear, deep and detailed than you experiencing me or me experiencing you. Then the ordinary wakeful state experiences, samadhi state experiences, the fourth state, turiya anubhavas, turiya experiences are very, very strong than Jagrat experiences, waking state experiences. Here, Shiva is giving us the technique to experience the fourth state. You see, one more thing, whenever you shift from one space to other, you go through the fourth state, means Turiya, Samadhi, but you don't stay in it, you don't experience it, you are not aware of it. It is just a microsecond. You are too busy in jumping into other. One more thing, without thought, you feel you are missing something. Without worrying, you feel you are lonely. That is the problem. If you lived with migraine for quite a long time, if you don't have migraine for one day, you will feel lonely. You are missing something. You can see in your life, if you don't have anything to worry early in the morning, you will feel, what is this? I think I should take up some work. I am wasting my life. Actually, if you don't have worries, you will have guilt that you are wasting your life. You can see in your life, and especially in the West, you are taught constantly, you should be productive. You should be constantly useful to the society. Being productive is nothing wrong. I am not saying don't be productive, but constantly worrying about being productive is something completely wrong. Completely wrong. And that is like walking inside the boat. One guy wanted to cross a river, entered the boat, and the boatman started rowing. This guy started walking to and fro, front and back and forth inside the boat. The boatman said, please be seated. Why are you walking back and forth? No, I don't have time to sit. I am in too hurry. Whether you walk back and forth or sit, you are going to reach only in the same time. Going back and forth inside the boat is what is worrying too much about being productive. Worrying too much about being productive. It may only reduce your speed. If you are walking back and forth, you will be shaking the boat and disturbing the boatman. When you are worrying too much about being productive, you are doing the same nonsense, disturbing your body and mind and reducing the productivity. I always tell people, once in a while, you should come and live in India where people don't bother about productivity. Now, I am not talking about Indian cities, they have gone to dogs. Villages, till morning 10 o'clock, they will be sitting and sipping that chai. Happily. Now, once in a while, you should experience that consciousness to get purified from this nonsense of running. Ramakrishna says, if you are staying inside a charcoal godown, how much you protect yourself, the darkness or dust will settle on you. Same way, if you are surrounded by people who are constantly running, something will settle on you, on your inner space. You should come once in a while to stay in the place where people don't much bother about things and where they are just relaxed and enjoying that, sipping the chai early morning. They won't even have money to pay for that chai. After that, and once in a while, staying a few days in that kind of space, not too much organized and living with a little more spontaneity and down to earth, will do a lot, will teach you a lot. Every year I go to Himalayas and take big group also with us. People ask me, why every year you take that arduous journey so much? Just to tell that whole life is not under your control. It should not be completely under your logical control. Living in the cities, by living in that same clear planned diagram, you know from your bedroom which way you will come down to your sofa. If you look, you will not even sit in the other sofas. No, in your living room, you will sit in the same sofa and you will walk in the same way to your kitchen. Sit in the same place and eat, and how you will come out to your garage and take the car and go to your office. You will live in the same planned way. By and by, unconsciously, you start believing your whole life is under your logic. And even if there are small accidents, you know there is an insurance. Nothing much needs to be done. So by and by, you start believing your whole life is under your logic. That is why if something beyond your logic happens, you are completely shaken, devastated. You are devastated. And the possibility for spontaneity was lost. Possibility for spontaneity was lost. Any small thing can completely imbalance you. Any small thing can completely imbalance you. Let me be very honest, really. I had been to many places where the natural calamities have happened for relief work. Relief work. I had been to the relief work in the developed countries and in the very, the undeveloped countries like India. People in India, the undeveloped countries, come back and catch up, get balanced, get to the normal space, come back. Within 20 hours, 30 hours, within 1 or 2 days, they are done. They just come back. Emotionally, in the conscious way, they are just out of the whole thing so quickly. But in the developed countries, they are completely devastated. They can't miss even their cup or the table or the place. Even if they get the home to stay in the developed countries, they need the same teacup. They need the same table. They need in the same distance. Otherwise, they are completely disturbed, imbalanced. But in the undeveloped countries, where people are more spontaneous, where people are living more with the simple things, they just get back to their state, get back to their balanced state more quickly, very easily. Because if your life is clearly sketched, the instinct or the intelligence connected to spontaneity is lost. It is not used at all. When you don't use, it loses the power or ability to be alive or to help you. It's like a fire station which was not used is how it can't be immediately put to use. Just like that. The army which was never used will be dead. Same way, there are some energies in you, the spontaneity which was never used will be dead. Going to Himalayas and all, once in a while, living in the ambience where the life is not under your control, will teach you the truth. Life is not under your control. Life is not under your control. That is the truth. In cities, you are living in illusion, Maya. The life is under your logic's control. No. That's what Maya means, which is not there, but which gives you the feeling as if it is there. Life is not under your logic's control, but gives you the feeling by and by living in that same routine or rut, that life is under your logic's control. You start thinking, by now you know everything, from morning till night what will happen to you. But actually you don't know. Having that clarity you don't know will happen to you if you live in that kind of a place like Himalayas, or a place where things are not logically under your control, and you will be reminded about it. It will be real fun to learn the truth once in a while, so that you will not be imbalanced, you will not be devastated, you will not be disturbed when something beyond logic happens in your life. Here Mahadeva is giving us the technique to be in the state of samadhi, to catch the glimpse of the state of samadhi when you go through the shift from waking to dream, from dream to deep sleep, or from deep sleep to the waking state, or the other states. Jakrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Turiya. Turiya means fourth state. We don't have name for that state. Turiya word means fourth, that's all. Means beyond all these three, that's all. We don't have name. There is no name for that. Let me read the sutra once more. At the point of sleep, when the sleep has not yet come, an external wakefulness vanishes. At this point, being is revealed. Beautiful sutra. Just look back and try to see in your memory, have you experienced the early morning any day, a kind of a mood? You will not be completely sleeping. The sleep would have left you. You will be aware that you exist, but you will not be able to completely take possession of your body. You will try to move your right hand or left leg or right leg. You can't move it. Neither you are completely aware of the body, nor you are completely asleep. You will be aware, but you can't move your body, or you can't do what you want. How many of you experienced this state? At least that is the mood, that is the state Shiva is speaking now. From that state you can take a jump to pure awareness without body consciousness, without getting associated with upadhis. You can experience the Siddha, enlightened state. Siddha means completely enlightened. Completely enlightened. Understand? At that state where you are aware, you exist, but you are not caught by body or mind. At that pure consciousness, you can easily realize the world which you are seeing now is made out of the same stuff in which your dreams are made. Understand? As on now, whenever you go through the moment of feeling awake but no body consciousness, you will only get frightened. You will only try to come back to body quickly. What happens usually when you go through that mood? First thing what you do? You somehow want to get rid of that moment. You will feel only frightened. You understand what I am saying? As on now, how many of you experience this state? Raise your hand. Let me guide you from that step. What exactly happens to you when you feel that mood? First thing you do is you try to come back to body. you try to take possession of your whole body. Means you want only to come back to waking state. You don't want to fall into samadhi state, where you will exist but you will not feel associated with your body. You are afraid to fall into that state. If you fall into that state where you exist but you are not connected to your body, you will realize the world which you are seeing now is made of the same stuff in which your dreams are made. That is why the enlightened ones will have two things. One, they will have power to change, power to make their dreams into reality. And they will have intelligence. Your reality itself is nothing but one more dream. Siddhi and Buddhi. Siddhi means power to realize, power to make your dreams into reality, because they know the stuff in which your dreams are made, in the same stuff only this waking state is also made. The matter just obeys them. That's a beautiful story of a great Siddha, enlightened master in South India, Madurai. He lived in Madurai. Beautiful story. Somebody challenges him. Can the stone elephant obey your orders? He goes to that stone elephant and gives the sugar can, and just that stone elephant obeys him. The stone elephant becomes like a living elephant and just picks up that sugar can and eats it. Matter can obey you. He knows the same stuff out of which dreams are made. With that same stuff only the waking state is also made. He can make anything possible in the waking state. That is called Siddhi. Next thing, Buddhi. The same state, same stuff in which the dreams, the reality is made. That's the same stuff in which dreams are made. Means why to change? Forget about it. Understand? It's a very subtle science. When you realize that fourth state, Samadhi state, where you have pure awareness but not the body consciousness, you will realize waking state, dream state, deep sleep state, all are made out of same stuff. You can do anything which you can do in dream state in other states also. So you will have two things. One, power to make your dreams into reality. Intelligence to realize your reality itself is a one more dream. Siddhi and Buddhi. Power, Siddhi and Jnana. That's what we call enlightenment. Experiencing the fourth state. Realizing the fourth state. Having the power to bend the matter as you want, or having the intelligence to realize the matter is nothing but one more dream. When you realize whatever you are seeing is nothing but one more dream, you will just relax completely. You will feel so relaxed. All your sufferings inside will be healed. I call that as a best inner healing.